The sun was setting on planet Nexus 6, painting the rocky landscape in shades of orange and purple. Dr. Jia Kim wiped sweat from her forehead as she checked her scanner one last time. She had been out for 6 hours now, and base camp wanted her back before dark. Just one more ridge, she told herself, adjusting the medical pack on her shoulder. Jia was 32, with short black hair and tired eyes. She had been the head medic on Horizon 7 outpost for 3 years. Today was supposed to be a simple survey, check the air, collect samples, and head back. Nothing exciting ever happened on these routine missions. She climbed the western ridge, her boots kicking up red dust. The scanner in her hand beeped weakly, showing normal readings. Then suddenly, it let out a sharp ping. "What's this?" Jia stopped, tapping the screen. The scanner showed a life sign just ahead, but it was faint and strange. Following the signal, she moved between 2 large rocks and stopped in surprise. There, in a small hollow, lay a creature unlike any she had seen before. It was cat-like, but much bigger than Earth cats. It had 6 limbs and was covered in silver-blue fur that seemed to glow slightly in the dim light. Its chest barely moved with shallow breaths. "Hello," Jia said softly, knowing it probably couldn't understand her. The creature didn't move. It was clearly hurt and very weak. Jia kneeled beside it and carefully ran her scanner over its body. The readings confused her. They suggested this being was extremely old, possibly centuries old. But that couldn't be right. Jia knew the rules. All unknown alien species had to be reported to the xenobiology team first. No medical help should be given until they approved. It was rule number 1 at Horizon 7. But as she watched the gentle rise and fall of the creature's chest grow weaker, something inside her couldn't just walk away. "I can't just let you die," she whispered. Jia opened her medical pack and took out an emergency stabilizer. She hesitated. Using human medical tools on an alien could harm it more. But when she checked the scanner again, she noticed something odd. The creature's biorhythm pattern was similar to that of Earth mammals, similar enough that basic treatment might work. Worth a try, she decided. With careful hands, she placed the stabilizer patch on what seemed to be the creature's main torso. The patch glowed blue as it analyzed the being's biology and adjusted itself. To her relief, the creature's breathing steadied slightly. It wasn't much, but it might be enough to get it back to base. Jia looked at her comm unit. She should call this in now. Report the finding. Wait for the science team. Instead, she put the comm away and made a different choice. "I'm going to help you," she told the unconscious creature. "I just hope I don't lose my job over this." Using an emergency hover stretcher from her pack, Jia carefully moved the alien creature onto it. It was heavier than it looked, and its 6 limbs made it awkward to position. Once secure, she activated the stretcher's stealth mode, a feature meant for moving injured people without causing panic. The sun had fully set now, and stars filled the sky above Nexus 6. Jia checked her map and plotted a route back to her medical transport that would avoid the main paths. "Okay, let's go," she said, guiding the floating stretcher down the ridge. "Don't die on me, whatever you are." As they moved through the darkness, Jia couldn't explain why she felt so strongly about saving this creature. Something about it seemed important, special. She just hoped she wasn't making a terrible mistake. The distant lights of her transport ship appeared ahead. With each step, Jia became more certain of one thing. Her life was about to change forever. Getting the alien creature onto her transport ship was the easy part. Now Jia had to bring it inside Horizon 7 without anyone seeing. She landed her transport at the far dock, which was mostly used for cargo. At this late hour, few people would be around. The ship's door opened with a soft hiss, and Jia checked the corridor. Empty. "Now or never," she whispered, guiding the hover stretcher with the alien down the ramp. The creature's condition was getting worse. Its breathing was shallow, and the silver-blue fur had lost some of its glow. Jia moved quickly through the back hallways of the outpost, avoiding the main areas. When she heard voices around a corner, she ducked into a supply closet and waited, heart pounding. After 20 tense minutes, she reached her destination, an old storage room in the medical wing that nobody used anymore. She had the access code because she had once used it for extra medical supplies. The door slid open, and Gia pushed the hover stretcher inside. The room was dusty, but spacious enough. She turned on the lights and looked around. "This will have to do," she said. Gia connected her medical scanner to the room's old computer terminal. The readings from the alien were still confusing. Its body was shutting down, but she couldn't tell why. She needed help, but who could she trust? After some thought, she called Park. He was an engineer who had become her friend over the past year. He was smart, and more importantly, good at keeping secrets. 10 minutes later, there was a soft knock at the door. "Gia, it's me." Ted's voice came through quietly. She opened the door, and Ta stepped inside. His eyes went wide when he saw the alien creature. "What is that?" he asked, keeping his voice low. "And why is it here instead of in containment?" "I found it during my survey," Gia explained. "It's dying, Ta. I couldn't just leave it." Ta ran a hand through his short hair, looking worried. "Do you know how many rules you're breaking right now?" "I know, but look at it." Gia pointed to her scanner. "These readings suggest it's not just old. It might be ancient. Centuries old, maybe." Ta looked skeptical, but moved closer to examine the alien. 6 limbs, feline features. I've never seen anything like it in the databases. "Can you help me?" Gia asked. "I need to modify some of our medical equipment to work with its biology." Ta hesitated, then sighed. "Fine, but if we get caught, I'm telling everyone you threatened me." For the next few hours, they worked together. Ta modified a standard medical pod to accommodate the alien's 6-limbed body. Gia analyzed blood samples and tried to understand the creature's unique biology. "This is amazing," she said, looking at the results. "Its cells have some kind of regenerative property I've never seen before, but it's failing." "Look at this," Todd pointed to a brain scan on the screen. "These neural patterns are complex, more complex than human patterns. This thing is highly intelligent." A soft alarm beeped from the medical pod. The alien's life signs were dropping again. "We're losing it," Gia said, rushing to adjust the settings. She worked quickly, using everything she knew about emergency medicine. The creature's main heart, it seemed to have 2, was barely beating. "Come on," Gia whispered. "Stay with me." Just then, the door to the storage room slid open. Gia and Ta froze as a figure stood in the doorway. It was Senior Medical Officer Han, Jia's boss. "Dr. Kim," he said, his face stern. "What exactly is going on here?" Gia stood up straight, trying to block his view of the alien. But it was too late. Officer Han stepped into the room, his eyes fixed on the strange creature in the medical pod. "You have 1 minute to explain this," he said, "before I report a major protocol breach." Behind them, the alien's vital signs continued to drop. "Sir, I can explain," Gia said, stepping forward. Officer Han raised his hand to stop her, but instead of anger, his face showed curiosity. He moved closer to the alien creature, studying it with expert eyes. "Remarkable," he whispered. 6 limbs, dual heart system." He looked at Gia. "Where did you find it?" "Western Ridge, sir. It was dying, and I couldn't just." "You did the right thing," Han said, surprising both Gia and Ta. "But the protocol," Ta began. "Some rules matter less than lives," Han replied. "I've been a doctor for 30 years. I know when to follow protocol and when to follow my heart." He pointed to the medical pod. "Now let's save this being." With Officer Han's help, they worked through the night. Han's experience with xenobiology was valuable. By morning, they had stabilized the alien's condition. "It should be stronger now," Han said. "I'll keep this secret for 3 days. After that, we must report it." Gia nodded gratefully. Thank you, sir. For the next 3 days, they took turns watching over the alien. Ja spent every free moment in the storage room. She talked to the creature as she worked, telling it about Earth, humans, and her life. On the third day, Ja was alone with the alien. She was checking its vital signs when she noticed something changing. The silver-blue fur was glowing brighter. The breathing became stronger. "Hello," she said softly, leaning closer. Slowly, the alien's eyes opened. They were unlike anything Ja had seen. Irises that shifted colors like an aurora in the night sky. The creature looked directly at Ja. Then something strange happened. A voice spoke in her mind, clear as if someone was standing next to her. Asterisk, you saved me, human healer. Asterisk. Gia jumped back, startled. You can speak, in my head. Asterisk, yes. My kind communicates through thought. Asterisk. What are you? Gia asked, amazed. What's your name? Asterisk, I am Nori of the Mirakin. We were once many across the stars. Now few remain. Asterisk. Gia grabbed her scanner and checked the readings. The alien's brain activity was off the charts. How old are you, Nori? My scanner shows readings that seem impossible. Asterisk by your counting. I have lived for 342 years. I am one of the last knowledge keepers of my kind. Asterisk. Gia sat down, shocked. That's not possible. Asterisk for humans, perhaps not. For Myrican, this is a normal lifespan. Asterisk. The door opened and Ta walked in. He stopped when he saw the alien was awake. Gia, it's awake, yes, and talking to me. In my mind. Gia pointed to her head. Tai. Meet Nori. Nori is American. Tai approached cautiously. Can it? I mean, can Nori talk to me too? Asterisk I can speak to any mind open to hearing asterisk came Nori's voice in both their heads now. Tai's eyes widened. This is incredible. Nori tried to sit up but was still weak. Asterisk, I must thank you both. I was placed in stasis when my civilization faced extinction. My pod was damaged in a meteor storm. I would have died if not for your care. Asterisk. Extinction. Ja asked. What happened to your people? Nori's eyes changed color, shifting to a deep blue. Asterisk. The Galactic Schism. A great war between star empires. My people refused to take sides or share our technology for weapons. We were punished for our neutrality. Asterisk. What kind of technology? Tai asked. Asterisk medical knowledge beyond your current understanding. Ways to heal that your science has not yet discovered. Asterisk Nori looked at Ja. Asterisk knowledge that I can share with you, as thanks for saving my life. Asterisk. Just then, the outpost's alarm began to sound. A red light flashed above the door. That's the docking alert, Ta said, checking his comm unit. An unscheduled ship is requesting emergency landing. Nori's fur stood on end, and the glow dimmed. Asterisk. They have found me. Asterisk the mental voice now filled with fear. Who? Ja asked. Asterisk those who hunt the last of my kind. For our knowledge. For our secrets. Asterisk Nori tried to stand but was too weak. Asterisk, if they find me here, you will all be in danger. Asterisk. The alarm continued to blare as Jia and Ta looked at each other, realizing their simple act of compassion had just become much more complicated. We need to hide you, Jia said, looking around the room. Is there anywhere in here? Asterisk no need. Asterisk Nori's voice came in their minds. Asterisk I can mask my presence from their scanners, but I need your help to do it. Asterisk. The alien's eyes glowed brighter as it explained what they needed, a special mix of minerals from the medical supplies to create interference. Tai went to get the supplies while Jia stayed with Nori. The alarm stopped, but the danger wasn't over. Tell me about your people's medical knowledge, Jia said, trying to keep Nori talking while they waited. Asterisk my kind learned to work with the body's natural energy. Asterisk Nori explained. Asterisk, your human medicine fights against nature. Ours works with it. Asterisk. Nori's six-limbed body shifted as it tried to sit up more. This time, Gia helped support the alien. Asterisk, for example, your cancer treatments poison the body to kill the bad cells. We learned to guide cells back to health. No poison needed. Asterisk. Gia's eyes widened. That's not possible. Asterisk it is. I can show you. Asterisk Nori raised one of its paws and placed it gently on Gia's arm. Suddenly, images filled Gia's mind. Pictures of cells changing, healing, growing. She saw methods and techniques no human had ever imagined. It was like reading 1,000 medical books in seconds. Amazing, she whispered when the vision ended. If humans had this knowledge. Asterisk you could heal diseases you think are incurable. Asterisk Nori finished. Tai returned with the supplies. Together, they mixed the minerals as Nori directed and placed them around the room. Asterisk. This will hide my energy signature for now. Asterisk Nori said. Asterisk. But we must be careful. Asterisk. Later that day, Officer Han came to check on them. His face was serious. There are visitors at the outpost, he said quietly. They claim to be from Central Command, but I've never seen their type before. They're asking questions about unusual energy readings. Have they said what they want? Jia asked. Not clearly. But they have scanning equipment and seem very interested in this section of the outpost. Nori's fur rippled with concern. Asterisk. They are collectors. They hunt my kind for our knowledge. Asterisk. Why didn't you tell us this before? Tai asked. Asterisk Kai was still weak, and I did not know if I could trust you fully. Asterisk Nori looked at each of them. Asterisk, but you have shown kindness. I will tell you everything now. Asterisk. Over the next hour, Nori shared the history of the Mirakin. They were healers and scholars who lived for hundreds of years. They had medical technology far beyond human understanding. When the Great War came, many powerful groups wanted their knowledge for weapons. The Mirakin refused and were hunted almost to extinction. And these collectors are still hunting you. After 300 years, Jia asked. Asterisk knowledge is the most valuable thing in the galaxy. Asterisk Nori said simply. Asterisk my mind contains medical secrets that would make any corporation or government immensely powerful. Asterisk. Officer Han looked troubled. We need to move Nori somewhere safer. These visitors have requested to inspect the medical wing tomorrow. My quarters, Jia suggested. No one would look for an alien there. As they made plans, the door to the storage room suddenly opened. Everyone froze. A young technician named Rin stood there, eyes wide with shock as she saw the alien. I knew it, she said. I knew you were hiding something in here, Dr. Kim. The power readings to this room have been strange for days. Rin, please. Jia started. I won't tell anyone, Rin said quickly. But you should know, those visitors. I overheard them talking. They're not from Central Command. They said something about tracking a last survivor to this outpost. Nori's ears flattened against its head. Asterisk. They are getting closer. We have little time. Asterisk. Officer Han stepped forward. We need to make a decision. Do we follow protocol and turn Nori over? Or do we protect the last keeper of knowledge that could change human medicine forever? Everyone looked at Jia. Somehow, she had become the leader of this strange group. The fate of the ancient alien now rested in her hands. We protect Nori, Jia said firmly. No one argued. They moved quickly. Ta created a special transport box that would hide Nori's energy signature. Rin used her access to change the outpost's sensor logs, erasing any evidence of the unusual readings. Officer Han prepared medical papers showing a quarantine in Joe's quarters for a research project. By nightfall, they had moved Nori to Joe's small living space. The alien lay on Joe's bed, looking weaker after the move. "Rest now," Gia said, checking Nori's vital signs. Asterisk thank you. Asterisk came the soft reply in her mind. Asterisk few would risk so much for a stranger. Asterisk. The next morning, a sleek black ship sat in the main dock of Horizon 7. It bore no markings except for a small silver logo, a circle with a line through it. The visitors wore dark uniforms and carried special equipment. Their leader was a tall woman with cold eyes named Director Sol. She spoke with Commander Da, the head of the outpost, in the main meeting room. "This is a standard inspection," Director Sol said smoothly. "Stellar Acquisitions monitors all frontier outposts for unusual activities." Commander Da looked suspicious. "We received no notice of an inspection." "That is the point of surprise inspections, Commander." Director Sol smiled without warmth. "We'll begin with the medical wing." Meanwhile, Joe was called to report to Commander Da's office. She left Nori hidden in her quarters, telling the alien to stay quiet and not use telepathy while she was gone. As Gia walked down the hallway, she saw the visitors with their scanning equipment. One of them looked at her with unusual interest as she passed. In the commander's office, Dad looked worried. "Dr. Kim, these inspectors have asked specifically about unusual medical research. Is there something I should know?" Gia kept her face calm. "No, sir. Just standard medical work." "They seem very interested in power usage in the medical storage areas." "We've been testing some new equipment," Gia said, using the lie they had prepared. "Nothing special." Day didn't look convinced but nodded. "Be careful, Doctor. Something feels wrong about these people." When Gia returned to her quarters, she found Nori hiding under her bed. Asterisk, they came. Asterisk, Nori explained. Asterisk, two of them, outside the door. They had scanners. Asterisk. Did they detect you? Asterisk, I don't think so. The minerals we used helped block their equipment. Asterisk. Suddenly, Gia's comm unit beeped. It was Ta. "Gia, those visitors just ordered a full scan of the residential section. They claim they detected unusual energy spikes there. They'll be at your quarters in 10 minutes. Gia's heart raced. "We need to move Nori again." Asterisk, there is another way. Asterisk, Nori said. Asterisk, I could go into deep sleep. My energy signature would be almost undetectable. But I would need help to wake up again. Asterisk, how long would you be asleep? Asterisk, a few hours. Long enough for them to scan and find nothing. Asterisk, it was their best option. Ja helped Nori prepare for the deep sleep. The alien's breathing slowed until it was almost impossible to detect. The glow of its fur dimmed to almost nothing. Just in time, too. A hard knock came at her door. "Medical inspection," a cold voice announced. Gia opened the door to find Director Sol with two assistants carrying advanced scanning equipment. "Dr. Kim," Director Sol said, "we need to inspect your quarters." "May I ask why?" Gia tried to sound merely curious, not afraid. "We track specific energy patterns across the galaxy. Our equipment detected something unusual in this area." The assistants pushed past Gia and began scanning her quarters. Their devices beeped and whirred as they moved around the small room. One of them passed the scanner directly over the bed where Nori lay in deep sleep, hidden under a pile of blankets. Gia held her breath. The scanner made a small noise, and the assistant frowned. He adjusted some settings and scanned again. "Director," he said, "I'm getting unusual readings from this bed." Director Sol moved closer, her eyes narrowing with interest. "What kind of readings?" "It's faint, but there's definitely something here. Something alive." Gia's heart pounded as Director Sol reached for the blankets covering Nori. Just as Director Sol reached for the blankets, the outpost alarm blared. Red lights flashed in the hallway. "Emergency in Sector 4, announced the computer voice. "All personnel report to emergency stations." Director Sol hesitated, then straightened up. Continue scanning, she ordered her assistant. I'll check what's happening. As she left, Jia's comm unit beeped. It was Ta. I triggered a small fire in the lab, he whispered. Nothing dangerous, but it should buy you some time. The assistant continued scanning the bed. Jia thought quickly. Your scanner is probably picking up my research samples, she said. I'm studying cell regeneration. She went to her desk and pulled out a box of sample slides she used for actual medical research. The assistant looked doubtful, but moved to scan the slides. These contain unusual energy patterns, Jia explained, similar to what you might be looking for. The assistant seemed to accept this. After scanning the whole room and finding nothing else unusual, he left to join Director Saul. Jia closed the door and leaned against it, breathing hard. That was too close. She uncovered Nori, who still lay perfectly still in deep sleep. Now she had to figure out how to wake the alien up. A soft knock came at her door. Jia froze. It's me, came Commander Dae's voice. Jia opened the door slightly. The commander stood alone, her face serious. May I come in, Dr. Kim? Jia hesitated, then stepped aside. Commander Dae entered and immediately saw Nori on the bed. So it's true, she said quietly. There is an alien creature here. Commander, I can explain. No need. Officer Han told me everything. Dae moved closer to look at Nori. Is it alive? Yes, in a deep sleep to avoid detection. Commander Dae studied the alien for a long moment. Do you know why I joined the medical corps, Dr. Kim? No, Mom. My mother died from Larson's disease when I was 12. The doctors couldn't save her. Dae's voice was steady but sad. I promised I would help find cures for the diseases we can't treat. She looked up at Jia. Officer Han tells me this creature has medical knowledge that could save millions. Yes, Nori has shown me things that could change human medicine forever. Commander Dae nodded slowly. Those inspectors are still searching the outpost. They've ordered a full lockdown until they find what they're looking for. She paused. We need to make a choice. What choice? Jia asked. Do we hand over this alien to them, or do we find a way to get it safely off Horizon 7? Jia was surprised. You want to help Nori escape. If what Officer Han told me is true, this alien could help us cure diseases like the one that killed my mother. Dae's eyes were determined. I'm not letting that knowledge fall into the hands of some shadowy corporation. But the protocol. Sometimes doing the right thing means breaking the rules, Dae said. I thought you understood that when you brought this creature here. Jia smiled slightly. I do. But how do we get Nori off the outpost? Those inspectors have the docks under watch. There's a supply ship coming tomorrow. The pilot is an old friend. He can take your alien to Sanctuary Moon. It's a neutral zone where your friend will be safe. But first, we need to wake Nori up, Jia said. Together, they tried different methods to rouse the alien from deep sleep. Nothing worked. Nori remained still, barely breathing. What did Nori tell you about waking up? Dae asked. Just that I would need to help, but not how. Jia thought hard, remembering everything Nori had shared about American biology. Then she had an idea. American healing works with natural energy, she said. Maybe that's what Nori needs, energy. She placed her hands gently on Nori's head, focusing her thoughts. She imagined energy flowing from her to the alien, like a warm current. To her amazement, Nori's fur began to glow brighter. The alien's eyes slowly opened, the colors swirling like an aurora. Asterisk, you found the way, asterisk, came Nori's voice in their minds. Commander Dae stepped back in shock. It speaks in my head. Asterisk he do. Asterisk Nori replied. Asterisk. And I thank you for your choice to help me. Asterisk. We have a plan to get you to safety, Jia explained. But before she could continue, her comm unit buzzed urgently. It was Tai again. Jia, they're coming back to your quarters. Director Saul knows something's there. They have better scanners now. You have to move. Now, we need to move now, Commander Day said, already heading for the door. Follow me. I know a safe place. Gia helped Nori stand. The alien was still weak, but could walk with support. They slipped into the hallway just as alarms began to sound again. Attention all personnel, came Director Saul's voice over the speakers. This outpost is now under Stellar Acquisition's control. Anyone harboring alien life forms will face severe punishment. They hurried through back corridors, avoiding the main hallways where Saul's people would be looking. Nori leaned heavily on Ja. I can sense them. Nori's mind voice warned. They have devices that can track my kind. They are getting closer. Just a little further, Commander Day said. She led them to a small maintenance tunnel that ran beneath the main level of the outpost. This leads to the emergency escape pods. The tunnel was narrow and dark. They moved as quickly as possible, hearing footsteps echoing above them. Ja's heart raced with every step. Suddenly, Nori stopped. I cannot go further, the alien said. They are waiting at the end of this tunnel. How do you know? Ja asked. I can sense their minds. They predicted this escape route. Commander Day's face fell. The supply ship isn't due for 6 more hours. We need somewhere to hide until then. There is another way. Nori said. But it carries great risk to me. Before they could ask what Nori meant, the sound of a door opening came from behind them. Lights swept the tunnel as someone entered. In here, Commander Dai whispered, pointing to a small storage room off the main tunnel. They slipped inside and closed the door. The room was tiny, filled with cleaning supplies and spare parts. They could hear people moving in the tunnel outside. They will find us soon, Nori said. I must act now to protect you. The alien's fur began to glow brighter. Nori closed its eyes and seemed to concentrate deeply. What are you doing? Ja asked. Creating a distraction. I will send a false signal of my presence to another part of the outpost. The glow around Nori grew even brighter. The alien's body trembled with effort. It is done, Nori said, suddenly sounding much weaker. They are moving away. But I have used much of my strength. Suddenly, the door opened. They all froze. A man in a Stellar Acquisitions uniform stood there, his scanner pointed at them. But instead of calling for help, he quickly stepped inside and closed the door. My name is Juan, he said quietly. I'm not really with Stellar Acquisitions. I'm an undercover agent, investigating them for illegal hunting of protected species. Commander Dai looked suspicious. Prove it. Juan showed them an ID chip embedded in his wrist. I've been tracking their activities for 2 years. The Mirakin are on the protected species list, but Stellar Acquisitions doesn't care. They want the medical knowledge. Why should we trust you? Ja asked. Because I can get your friend to the emergency shuttle bay without being detected, Juan said. But we must hurry. Director Saul has called for backup. He speaks truth, Nori confirmed, reading the man's thoughts. But I am too weak now to travel far. What did you do? Ja asked Nori. I created a psychic barrier around us and sent a false signal. It drained my life energy. The alien's breathing had become shallow again. I may not survive to reach safety. No, Jaya said firmly. I didn't save you just to lose you now. She turned to Juan. How far to the shuttle bay? 2 levels down. We need to use the service elevator. Let's go, Commander Day said. Together, they carried Nori through the quiet corridors, following Juan's lead. The alien grew weaker with each step. They reached the service elevator without being seen. As the doors closed, they thought they were safe. Then the elevator stopped halfway down. "Override activated," said the computer voice. "Security scan initiated." A scanning beam swept over them. "Unauthorized life form detected," the computer announced. "Security alert." The doors opened, and they found themselves facing Director Saul and 4 armed guards. "Well," Director Saul said with a cold smile, "what an interesting group. A commander, a doctor, an agent who forgot his loyalty." Her eyes fixed on Nori. "And the last Myrican knowledge keeper." Nori suddenly stood up straight, gathering its remaining strength. The alien's eyes blazed with color, and its fur glowed brightly one last time. Asterisk, "You will not take me." Asterisk, Nori's voice echoed in all their minds. Asterisk, "Nor will you harm these humans who showed compassion when you showed only greed." Asterisk. With those words, Nori collapsed to the floor. "Nori!" Jill cried, dropping to her knees beside the fallen alien. She checked for life signs. They were faint, but still there. Director Saul stepped forward. "Step away from the alien. It belongs to Stellar Acquisitions now." "It doesn't belong to anyone," Gia said, standing up. "Nori is a living being, not property. That creature holds medical knowledge worth more than this entire outpost." Saul replied coldly, "Move aside, or my guards will move you." Juan stepped forward. "This stops now, Saul. The Myrican are protected under galactic law. You have no right to hunt them." "Rights?" Saul laughed. "We make the rights out here on the frontier." While they argued, Jia's mind raced. She remembered everything Nori had shown her about Myrican healing. There was a technique, risky but powerful, that might save Nori. As Director Saul and Juan faced off, Jia knelt again beside Nori. She placed her hands on the alien's chest, feeling for the 2 hearts. Both were barely beating. She closed her eyes and focused her mind as Nori had taught her. She pictured energy flowing from her hands into Nori's body, not fighting the failing systems, but working with them, guiding them back to strength. Commander Day saw what she was doing and knelt beside her. "What can I do to help?" "Keep them talking," Jia whispered. "I need time." Day nodded and joined the argument, demanding to see Saul's authorization papers. Jia continued her work. Sweat formed on her forehead as she channeled her energy into Nori. She felt suddenly tired, as if something was draining her strength. Asterisk Jia, asterisk, came Nori's weak voice in her mind. Asterisk, "What you attempt is dangerous. You could harm yourself." Asterisk, "I won't let you die," Jia replied silently. "Not after everything we've been through." She pushed harder, using every bit of knowledge Nori had shared. She visualized the alien cells regenerating, the energy pathways reopening. Around them, the argument grew louder. Saul ordered her guards to seize Nori. Juan and Dai blocked their path. "This alien is under my protection," Commander Day declared. "By my authority as commander of this outpost, I order you to stand down." "Your authority means nothing," Saul snapped. "Take them all into custody." Just as the guards moved forward, a bright blue light began to glow beneath Jia's hands. It spread across Nori's body, growing stronger by the second. Everyone froze, watching in amazement. Nori's eyes opened, now shining with a bright, clear light. The alien rose slowly to its feet, standing tall on all 6 limbs. Its silver-blue fur glowed with renewed strength. Asterisk Ina. Asterisk, Nori's voice rang out in all their minds, stronger than ever before. The guards stepped back, startled by the mental voice. Even Director Saul looked uncertain. Asterisk guide will not be taken, asterisk, Nori continued. Asterisk, nor will I allow harm to come to these humans. Asterisk. Saul recovered quickly. Impressive display, but you're still outnumbered. Guards, take the alien. Before they could move, Nori raised 2 of its limbs. A wave of energy pulsed outward, freezing the guards in place. Asterisk guide did not wish to use my powers this way. Asterisk, Nori said. Asterisk. But you leave me no choice. Asterisk. At that moment, the outpost's main alarm sounded. A voice came over the speakers. Attention, Stellar Acquisitions personnel. This is Central Command. Stand down immediately. You are in violation of multiple regulations. Juan smiled. My transmission got through. Backup has arrived. Within minutes, real Central Command officers arrived. They arrested Director Saul and her people, citing illegal hunting of protected species and unauthorized takeover of a frontier outpost. Later, in the medical bay, Gia examined Nori with amazement. Your readings are stronger than ever, she said. How is that possible? Asterisk, what you did was remarkable. Asterisk, Nori replied. Asterisk, you didn't just heal me. You rejuvenated me. No human has ever mastered our techniques so quickly. Asterisk. So what happens now? Jia asked. Asterisk, now, I fulfill my promise. Asterisk, Nori touched Jia's hand with a paw. Asterisk, I will share all the medical knowledge of the Mirakin with you. Asterisk. From a pouch in its fur, Nori produced a small crystal. It glowed with inner light. Asterisk. This contains everything my people learned over thousands of years. It is yours now. Asterisk. 6 months later, Gia stood before the newly built Human Mirakin Medical Academy. Beside her stood Nori, now her partner and teacher. Students from across the galaxy had come to learn the combined wisdom of human and Mirakin medicine. Are you ready? Gia asked, looking at the eager faces waiting for them. Asterisk, ready. Asterisk, Nori replied. Asterisk. A new beginning for both our kinds. Asterisk. Together, the human doctor and the alien she had saved walked forward to change the future of medicine forever.